Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of The Bloody Legends with Jai That Aussie Metal Guy and Jim Taylor. Make sure you're a bloody legend and hit that like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the great content from these bloody legends. G'day, hey, how are you all going? This is Jai That Aussie Metal Guy here with The Bloody Legends, and this is my awesome co-host. And today, the bloody legend we have on is Marc Lopes of Metal Church, vocalist who recently released the Congregation of Annihilation, which is still one of the beast albums of 2023, hands down. Did come out in May, and they are about to bring the church to Australia. Marc Lopes, thank you very much for joining us.
Just quick correction. It's Lopes.
Lopes, yeah, sorry, mate.
It's okay. It happens all the time, believe it or not.
I wondered. We're doing, dude. We are honored to have you, my friend. This is
Thanks for having me.
This is so we growing up listening to thrash metal church. Oh my God! And this record is relentless, dude. Relentless. Your vocal.
Good.
We'll get into that in a minute. Jai, take it away, man.
No, you go.
I got plenty to talk about, man.
You got this.
I can't do it.
No, you did.
I'm not ready yet. Listen. I need some encouragement right here.
Okay, Marc, what was it like first when you got the call up to come over and join Metal Church and kind of continue the legacy on, but also start the new chapter in the legacy of Metal Church?
Yeah, it was. When I first got the call, it was, if I was interested, and it was, it was a little bit of a process, obviously, after everything that happened, and gosh, I probably easily 4 or 5 months going back and forth doing like audition, like some of the older songs, and then write 3 songs of new material. To see how that worked out with Kurdt, because he was the main writing partner for the whole thing. And, it worked great, obviously.
Yeah.
And, then they asked me to join, and it was off. Of course, it was like, before I even finished saying the sentence, of course. Obviously there was definitely, when it first, that it's a huge responsibility to carry on something that legendary, you know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Absolutely, sir.
And, that was definitely in the back of my mind. But, when we were working mostly on all the new stuff, it became more, it got more exciting. And, it kind of got it was an interesting start because the material that I was working with was it was written for Mike. And there were no vocals, people going, oh, you got versions of demo? No, there was no vocals of anything because it never got to that point. So It was just music, and it was definitely written with him in mind. So it was more of like a straightforward type of thing that they were already kind of doing. When me and Kurdt started to work, he, and he gave me a little bit more of do your thing. Well, that's where he realized, he's like, wow, yeah, man, you're like you're mad all the time. You sound like you're pissed off all the time. This isn't going to work with this kind of stuff. So we went and we wrote all new stuff. And that's for the most part what the record is. And we rearranged some other things. And, I added some more zest to, that's not even a word, but I made it up. And, that's kind of where that went. And then, when it got to the point where, starting to talk about doing shows, I think that's where the real stress for me came, because, the album had been received very well, the first single and stuff, and it was selling amazing and the whole 9 yards. It was great. And then the realization of like, oh man, now I got to go and do, this classic timeless material live. And I'm like, that's, you can rehearse till you blue in the face, but when you hit the stage, it's a whole different beast, So,
no doubt.
it's definitely been a trial by fire, and I'm you guys are getting the best part because, you know, we're firing on all cylinders now. So it's cool.
Beautiful.
But, you know, like anything else, it takes time to get used to. And, you know, mentally, it's a mind fuck. You know what I mean? Because you're going out there and you're playing stuff that I'm playing stuff that I grew up with listening to. You know, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
It's a head trip, man. It's a big time head trip, you know. I mean, there's not too many people, you know, like Todd and Ripper and those guys. You know, I actually talked to them about this stuff because they know, you know, and you know, it's definitely not an easy task, especially at first, you know. So, you know, I have to say that the transition's been a lot better for me than with most. And I appreciate that. And I can't thank the fans for welcoming me so much that they have. You know, and it's definitely, you know, being able now to, I'm getting more comfortable and adding my own little spins to things here and there, and just keeping, you know, obviously always keeping, you know, the source material to heart, you know. But lucky for me, you know, David Wayne has always been my thing. So it kind of came a little bit more naturally, you know, as it can tell. So that worked out. You know. So for me, it was you know, definitely a little bit easier to flow into that, you know, but still have my own pizzazz, because I was kind of like, you know, even before this whole thing with my own band and even with doing other things, I was just like, you know, I was kind of like, I would always go back and reference like a David Wayne and Eric Adams and like even, you know, Ripper stuff too. I was, be honest. And like, I was like that really snarly, heavy, big sound. And
yes,
but I was, you know, but I'm a big death metal fan, and I love like Cradle of Filth, and I love Fear Factory, and I like the, you know, I love all that stuff. So it kind of like, you know, it kind of like, it's like a weird, you know, trying to add some of those dynamics to this album. I didn't think Kurdt was going to buy it. He bought it and he loved it. So I was like, you know, thanks to him. And in his way of looking at it, which made it a lot easier for me too, was that he's like, look, I'm not trying to do anything that we've already done before, because it's already been done. You know, this is a new era of the band, and this is your era. So let's do it. You know, I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, I wrote every song with him on this album. He's never done that with anybody else. So for me, it was a huge honor. And we always laughed, always like, well, if it bombs, you can blame me. But if it's great, you'll take all the credit. So. Yeah, so a little inside joke. So
it's funny. I actually had it on again, driving here to the restaurant, and it's funny. It has elements of the Power that was the Dark, and albums like that, but you have such a distinctive vocal delivery, because you'll go from that wicked demon, that kind of, like you said, that like it has that kind of, and then I was like, I bet you he listens to like you know, various death metal, like Suffocation or stuff like that. Oh, right, exactly.
We had him on a few weeks ago.
We just had them on.
Yeah, that last Suffocation album, and yeah, that's great too. Decapitation, same thing, you know.
Cattle Decap.
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
Yeah. I could hear those influences in this as well. It was absolute beast, as Jim said. You could hit those moments, but then you could go to these really high, thrashy vocal, you know, delivery, like all in one. How do you keep that rolling? How do you keep your voice in check, man? Because you're like hitting like, and it just sounds so bloody good, eh? Like, I was just hooked on this album when it dropped in May, because Reaper was sending it over to me, Greg and that Rothamal and that, he was sending it through to the PR and that, so I was able to listen to a couple of the singles, play it on the show, and it was really based. So I was bought straight away, and noticed that with your delivery way back then in May.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I just you know, I've been singing for so long, and just, I don't know, I think my new approach over the last year has been just kind of like just doing what I do. You know, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I don't think there's any. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I still work with a coach who's actually based in Australia, which is really funny.
Yeah, nice.
And you know, and it's mindset, really. You know, I've been through years and years of technique and different things here and there, and some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. You know, it just kind of like it's a constant study. You know, and different work for different people, and different lifestyles work for different people. You know, I stay quite fit, and you know, I try to take care of myself consistently, and you know, that matters too. And it's just the love of the music. I'm really trying to delve into the feeling of it all instead of worrying about everything being correct. I know, and I think that's a huge thing, like stepping into this year, like, oh my God, it's got to be like the record. It has to be this and it has to be that. And it's like, you end up you end up screwing yourself mentally because you're already worried before you're already there. And now like I'm now that I'm getting comfortable with the lyrics and just the vibe and the phrasing and all these little things, these little intricacies that make the material what it is, you know, the feeling starts to come out. And I think that's why, you know, the last couple of runs have been really, really stellar because of, you know, the band's more of we're a family now. We're still getting to know each other. You know what I mean? You know, having agreements, you know, or whatever, you know, and believe it or not, that stuff matters, and it brings everything together, and it becomes a very interesting organism, and it's awesome. I mean, I couldn't be happier. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You know, I still get a kick out of like when we go out on stage. Sometimes, you know, we'll be kicking into like Ton of Bricks or something, and like I remember doing cover when I was like 17 years old in a cover band, and here I am, like I go out and I see the banner in the back, and then I look over and there's Kurdt, and I'm like, this is cool. You know, so
absolutely.
Yeah, really, it's I'm grateful that I was given the opportunity to do it, you know, and it's a constant work. You know, we're always trying to, always going to try to challenge ourselves, you know, and we got to make it fun for us too. You know what I mean? Especially for those guys. I've been doing it for, you know, gazillion years, you know, and like we've already been talking, we're like talking about the next record. We're talking about the set list for next year. And
that's what I'm going to say. It's got to be exciting for Kurdt as well. Like as well, you're going like, I can see the excitement on your face and how good this is for you, but it's got to be exciting for him and the rest of the band as well to have you come on and start this new chapter with Metal Church and kind of have all these different ways they can go with the band, and you're bringing you into the band as well and be able to brought onto the songwriting, and you and Kurdt are able to sit there and you're able to bring a part of yourself into Metal Church as well going forward. So it most definitely is a new chapter.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's surreal. And you know, you know, when we were writing it, I remember I really dug into the first 3 records, you know. And and because, you know, that's what I was always influenced by. And I really dug into that and the styles and the nuances and just the little things here and there. So I definitely was I admit I definitely was, you know, looking for certain little things, you know, and you know, I might have gone overboard on a couple of things here and there, but I didn't, why not? You know what I mean? But we were laughing because, you know, we were like, we cursed like, don't worry about it. We're probably never going to play. We'll probably play like one song off this record anyway. And like, now you got people going, oh, we want to hear like this, that, this, and this. And I'm like, I told you. Like, you know, now it's like, how am I going to do that one live, man? It's like, great, you know, but we add more, you know?
I was going to say, I can't wait to hear you do Badlands. Like your way. I want to hear.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting. The Mike stuff has been the challenge for me because his voice is nothing like what I do. So, going about that at first definitely was more of a challenge than anything. I'd be the first one to admit it. And it's like, you know, someone goes, oh, well, you can't sing it. It's like, nah, dude, it ain't a matter of can't sing in it. That's a big difference.
Right.
You know, I love when people think they know, but they don't know.
Right.
You know,
they don't know.
It's a whole bunch of characteristics of things, you know. And so I started kind of adapting it more my way, David Wayne style type of thing. So it was comfortable for me. And now it feels a lot better. You know what I mean? But still staying obviously true to the song, you know, but you know, it takes a little bit of time to kind of grasp these things and make it feel for you too, you know? So
that's what's so beautiful. Like, listen to your vocal style, man. And I really mean this. I'm not trying to butter you up, but I'm going to butter you up. The way you meld so many different melodic vocal sounds. And forget, I am so sorry. Track 2 off this the latest record. Children of the Lie. You do this insane. It's on the end of the choruses where you just have this rasp with the high. And it's like just that is bad as hell, dude. And then you'll try.
Thank you.
So beautiful, my friend.
I get a kick out of that tune because it was the last song to go down, and it was kind of like we were running out of time. And so I laid it down, and I came up with this me and Kurdt, we talked like we were on the phone like twice a day. Like we were working. So even though we weren't in the same room, we were there all the time, you know? So it came up with this thing. We called it Thrash Boogie. And that's where those verses, it's Thrash Boogie. And I'm like, dude,
it is.
You just said something, man. I'm like, this is Thrash Boogie.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like not only as heavy as this Metal Church record is, I think you hear elements of Presto Ballet kind of come in with his hard rock sensibility.
Him, obviously.
Yeah.
That would definitely
Is that a wrong assessment? I don't want to assume here.
I think for that song you probably would say, you know, I'm not very familiar with that stuff, but I know it's proggy and stuff. So that's
what I mean. It's a little more.
That's kind of got that like extended end and the mellow thing and stuff.
For sure.
So,
right.
I could definitely hear that being influenced from that for sure.
And where did you guys record this one?
We did it at our own places.
Wow.
We did it ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
I engineered, I recorded all my own vocals, engineered it, wrote everything, edited everything.
It's so tight, dude.
Cool.
And everything.
Put a lot of work.
Kurdt produced it sounds like too, yeah.
Very layered. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, everybody did their own stuff, you know, so it was cool. I mean, we were,
Beautiful.
You know, we're talking, you know, like the next record, we want to get in the same room and see how that works.
Jam it out.
I mean, I'm always going to do my own thing. I got to go to the lab. I have to go to the lab and create. You know what I mean?
Same
I'll
here.
come up.
Yeah,
I like to jam, but the lab's where all the magic happens. You know what I mean? I can, you know, get into that.
That's different. The 3 a.m. after you had a pizza and watch Howard the Duck, and it's like, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Howard the Duck. Oh Howard man. There you go.
You can definitely sense some of the aggression in this album as well. You know, like really well done aggression too. It's just great music. I love the opening track, Another Judgment Day. You kind of get the flavor of the way that starts and sets the album, like, you know, kind of what you're in for. But then when your vocals kick in, you kind of, as we were saying before, with your vocal delivery and that aggression, they're able to steep to those different levels. You kind of just feel it from that opening track. What was it like making that track? And tell us a little bit about that.
Hold on a second. Got to think back here.
Dude, going a while back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was definitely that one was like, all right, well, it's a straightforward in your face, old school thrasher. And, nothing, no rocket science there really, and
right.
just, everything starts with a title for me. And that comes off the vibe of the song. And then, I always write the hook first and then I go backwards. That's pretty much it for me. Yeah, I write backwards. It has the hook in the title and the chorus. That's first usually, and then I work my way.
No, that makes sense actually.
Because that's the crescendo point. So it's kind of like where people will go the foundation up. Well, the foundation's there with the music. I kind of start with the foundation of the hook and then work it around. I mean, that's usually what I do. You know what I mean? I can't say everything's like that, but yeah. I mean, it's just the vibe of the song. I can't be honest. I don't really. It was a title. I have a huge catalog of song titles for everything I do, whether it's the Ross stuff or my own band, and I always have tons of stuff. And I'll have really cool titles, but all right, well, this one won't work for this band, but this one works, and that's been a title for a while, and I was like, this is perfect. And we kind of had like an interesting anti defy the system type of theme for the old school rebellion type of thing going for us. So that's kind of where that that vibe went into it. So yeah, it worked.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Definitely has that feel to it too. Even now you said that, you look at the cover of the album as well. If anyone hasn't seen it, I'll quickly share it for you. Bloody legends, there we go.
It's so nasty. Look at that.
You kind of have that feel to that as well, and also with song titles like Pick a God and Pray, and Say a Prayer with 7 Bullets and things like that. You definitely feel it. And These Violent Thrills, All That We Destroy, you definitely feel that anti-establishment, kind of fuck the system and on this at times with this album. Yeah,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think every song except Me the Nothing has that vibe, that thread to it for sure.
I felt that too. Me the Nothing. Tell us about that track, because that one kind of hit me too, man. Like, kind of just a song that I'd sit there sometimes and the lies we could probably tell ourselves, but like, you tell me what that track means.
It's actually based off a movie. It's an art indie movie from Spain.
Yep.
And it's funny because I should know the title off the top of my head, and I always forget it because it's one of those like, I think it's called "I'll Not Be Alone" or something like that, and it's about witches.
Okay.
Actual witches, and
I love it.
Yeah, it's an
look
old
for this.
folklore. And there was a line in the movie where they're talking, and it was subtitled. And the one woman looks to the other and she says, me the nothing, meaning that she was nothing, because she was like this transformed vessel. And that hit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's a great title.
That line hit me too from that.
Yeah.
That song.
And when that music came across to me, I wrote all the keyboard parts, and that I was like, oh, I got chills. I'm like, that fits so perfect, And again, I write, there's a lot of metaphor throughout the whole record. You can interpret it how you want to, but that one was specifically written about that because I really connected with that movie. I thought it was just so genius. You know what I mean? I remember when I was writing the lyrics for it, I like went and I did all kinds of research of different people's analyzing the meaning of the movie to just see different points of view, like maybe what this person thought and what they took out of that. And I kind of like made notes and compiled it. And that one, I put a lot into that. And once in a while I go down the rabbit hole on some stuff and I really, really hone on that. and in the chorus is just so weird because it's really just, it's like, you know, it's like, it sounds like a fucking Wicked Witch singing it or something, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, so it's kind of weird. And it's kind of funny. It's like a lot of those things I would send over to Kurdt and I'd be like, oh, what's he going to think of this? Because I mean, this doesn't sound like anything they've ever done before. Oh, I love it, man. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's go. You know, and it ends up being, we took it out of the set for the now because it was weird. It was weird live, you know, it was good, but it was weird live. I think we might revisit it at another time. Like, cause we want to put more production into it. I think I was laughing. I go, we need the keyboard part there. And then he was, you know, you're right. And I go, you know, because we've been experimenting now with screens and different things that we've been working on for production for the future.
Oh, wow.
Like, now this song fits perfect with that kind of vibe, you know? So we that, you know, that's in reserve right now. And, you know, we replaced it with another song off the new record instead for now. And then, you know, we'll just add on. I mean, there's so much great stuff to pick from. You can't play everything, but we definitely want to get it so we're built up a catalog that we can rotate stuff sometimes. You know?
Absolutely.
That's going to be tough whittling it down for, especially like when you coming over to Australia, working out which tracks we got to get in off the album, and then which ones we got to get the classic tracks. And
you're getting actually a bonus track that we haven't played on the tour yet.
Oh,
from an old album that we added. So you guys are getting that treat, and you're getting the long set. So you guys are getting. Right. You're getting the whole shebang on this one.
There we go. We do have some pictures here. I will share them a little bit better up on the website.
Oh, wow.
Put all the links on there for everybody. I believe you're kicking off in Melbourne with Nothing Sacred, who I've interviewed as well. They're an absolute beast of a legendary band. They're going to fit really well with you guys. And then you're over to Brisbane, then Sydney, and you're bringing the church to Adelaide on the Sunday and the 17th with Dirty Pagans and Firestorm. You've got some great bloody supporting you all around.
Great, awesome, man.
Australia as well. It looks absolutely beast. All the bands you got there. Firestorm, I'm pretty sure they were nominated, if not won, the SA Heavy Music Awards here. Killraiser and Temptress. You probably already know Temptress. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you've been over here before with Ross the Boss, haven't you? You've been to Australia a few times, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And nothing better than having full night of good metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you must be super keen. You must all be super keen to get back down here to Australia. I know it's something you guys have had on the bloody cards for a while. I know you've been really, really trying to happen, you know, because I know how much you all love coming to Australia and how much Australia loves having you. Great. So when it was finally going ahead, you were probably like, fuck yeah, but it probably landed at a good time that you were able to get everything sorted on stage. And
as soon as all the visas and the flights were booked, it was like, thank God, you know, because stuff changes so quickly sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're pumped, man. I always remember Melbourne. The last two times I came to Australia with Ross, Melbourne was like, they were fire, man. You know what I mean? We were freaking 2 sold out shows with that one, and that was wild, man. The fans are great, people are great. Definitely a heavy metal town for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Brisbane.
I mean, not to say not the other towns are, but that was one of the, you know, definitely one of the highlights for me. You know, so I'm sure you other guys can change that this time, right?
Definitely. You chuck in, Jim.
No, I was going to say, are you doing a U.S. tour after that?
Well, we've been on guys. We've already done like three U.S. runs.
I know you've done a couple. I didn't know if you're coming back after the Australia run.
Milwaukee Metal Fest, I think one's been announced, hasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, we're doing. We're doing another run in March. Yeah,
that's what I figured.
March to April. Okay. As soon as I get back from Australia again with Ross, I go right into doing the Metal Church tour. So.
You must bloody love getting over here to Australia because you've been over.
Dude, I get to go there twice in 3 months. Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I know. Do you get a chance to see much while you're over here? Is there anything you're really keen to go and do?
The last time I was there, I actually spent a week extra and hung out.
Oh,
and,
nice.
so that was cool. So, and now, now I've got to know a lot more people down there as well from playing. And so it's cool. It's good to see friends that I don't get to see in person. You know what I mean? So that's always
beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yep.
Yeah, well, Australia's got quite a great thrash metal scene, and with you playing live, what was it like that first show, kind of getting out there and kind of to playing live with Metal Church after everything kind of opened up and you're ready to roll?
The first
again?
Metal Church show?
Yeah, man.
It was a nightmare for me. I was like, literally, when I went on stage, I felt like somebody was stepping on my chest the whole night.
Yeah.
It was rough. First couple of shows were rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was rough. I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, we rehearse and you can rehearse and you rehearse. And then it's like no matter how much experience I have, and go out there and it's like, oh man, it's like this, it's like it was a very overwhelming feeling,
And then now, compared to now, it's been like night and day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny. I just calculated it. We've already done 30 shows. So that's pretty good.
Yep.
From show 1 to show 30, we've definitely have found our footing a lot more, So, that makes life so much easier. Now we're having fun because a lot of that stuff's kind of more out of the way, Whereas the other, we were cracking up, because, hey, nothing's perfect. And there's definitely been some funny flubs. And one of the nights, the other night, oh my God, we were doing Burial at Sea. And I totally forgot the second verse and went into the third verse. And it was like, I guess I have slight dyslexia. So I sometimes see things back in different positions. And I totally got confused, and I just stopped, and everybody, we were laughing. I'm like, I can't even believe this. And we were laughing, and I came back in and we were just like, yeah, well, it's not tracked, man. It's the real deal. Sorry about that. What else can you do?
I was going to say that's beautiful. You're getting the real performance out of you. And Metallica always said, when they make mistakes on stage, it shows you're human and you're actually playing it.
Oh, we definitely got some human going on.
Indeed, sir.
Well, we are all human, you know what I mean? At times, and that's the thing with anything in life. Music, life in general, shit that's going up against you. You know what I mean? Every now and then. Gonna flub something, you're gonna fuck up. Are you gonna just pack up and give in, or are you just gonna push, or are you gonna keep pushing forward? You know what I mean? And make something positive out of that. Or we have two choices in life: give up or just keep fucking pushing on.
Right. Yeah, it was it's definitely, and it's great when you can laugh it off. I mean, it's not, you don't want to be doing it all night, obviously, but it was an honest mistake. Everybody does them. So.
What's one track you love and playing live off of the new album?
Congregation, the title track.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It thrashes like hell, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so sick.
I told Kurdt, I'm like, can we write like 10 more of these?
Yes, please.
For sure.
I just he's like, no, man, I have to have variety. I'm like, I know.
And I didn't mention that line before, how Kurdt was going, this is a new chapter, and that must be good for Metal Church, who have been around for so long and influenced so many people, but also still bringing young metalheads to the band shows and discovering Metal Church, even now on this album, discovering Metal Church and then going back and going, wow, the extensive history, you know what I mean? And the backstory of Metal Church. It must be exciting for Kurdt, but also for you and the whole band to kind of have those fans come along, old and new.
Well, it's wild because we do the meet and greets every night, no matter what.
I see that.
And sometimes, gosh, we're beat to hell, but we still do them. And it's awesome because you get a direct feedback from the show, and it's wild. I mean, not all shows are all ages, but when they are all ages, we played, where the hell was it? Houston. Yeah, when we played in Houston, there was a pit, and there were kids flying all over the place, and they were coming up on a stage, and it was funny because like everybody got a little panicked, and I freaking ran up to the front. I grabbed them all. I had them with me, and I they come up, and I grab them, and then I push them back. That's where I came from. So I was all into it. I played better. I'm like, they're jumping up. I'm like, yeah, come here. Holding them, we're singing together, throw them back in. It was awesome. And then, meet them all after. It was seeing myself as a teen, discovering something, and it was exciting. And it was so cool. And we've been getting a lot more of that. And there's people like, this is my first metal church ever. And, I didn't really know much about the band, and I love it. And it's kind of mind blowing, well, you have to remember too, like, we have a very popular metal thing, radio thing on satellite radio, Liquid Metal over here with Jose Mengi. And it's a big thing here. And he plays, he plays our stuff, and like that makes it relevant. It makes it more new, and puts us in that Testament Overkill type of vibe where these older bands are making new records.
Definitely.
And the records are still relevant. They're not just to make a record to go out and maybe you'll get to hear a song or something. It's not like that. And I pay attention to things here and there, and a lot of people, they want to hear more new material. We want to play more new material, but then the funny joke about that is that we had to relearn it because we didn't think that we were going to have to play more than one or two songs. So we learned a couple, and then we focused on, the legacy of the band. And,
right.
I think we got a fair, pretty, a good variety for the show. And like I said, as time goes on, we'll definitely add more. We've talked about it a bunch, but it's kind of like we got to learn them again, which takes a little bit more time than going back and revisiting stuff that they've already done. You know what I mean? So That's really all it is. I mean, we will be doing more eventually. And plus, who wants to see the same show twice? Well, so we want to change it up too, so.
Beautiful.
For sure.
That's awesome. And keep it varied, keep it heavy, and keep it
the show moves.
Yeah, exactly.
It moves. It's kind of wild because like before like we're already at the end, and I'm like, wow. It's like, wow, every show goes, it's like this. We get past a certain, I think it's like we get past like the fifth song, like the show just goes wild.
Right. It feels
that
feels
excitement
like
of the beginning. And we segue the first four songs, go right through, and then it's just like we kick a little things here and there, and it's just bow, 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 bow. You know what I mean?
And you're like, that was 20 minutes, really? And it's like you're playing.
Like, oh wow, you just played
adrenaline.
An hour and a half. Oh, okay.
Felt like 30 minutes. Yeah.
And of course, everybody wants to hear 18 more songs, not realizing I just, sang my nuts off.
And you're just give me a minute,
Like, I got to do this again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day.
Do Fake Healer again. I did it one time.
Yeah, right. Yep, exactly.
That's it. Mark, look, this has been an absolute pleasure. Everybody go out, crank up Congregation of Annihilation. It did come out through May. It is one of my bloody favorites of 2023 for sure. Catch the Church in Australia. Thursday 14th, Melbourne at the Croxton. Friday 15th, Brisbane at the Zoo. Saturday 16th, Sydney at the Crowbar. Sunday 17th, Adelaide at the Cranker. Mark,
where you guys going? Which one?
Adelaide. I'm going to Adelaide. Jim's in the US, so he's got to catch you back. Get to US.
Yeah, that's why I asked about.
Where are you in the US? Where?
I'm in Pennsylvania, sir.
We did 2 shows in Pennsylvania already.
I know. Sorry, I've had a lot going on this year. I apologize.
Well, I can tell you this: we'll be back in March.
That'd be beautiful. I almost bet you money you'll be back towards my. Did you do Mechanicsburg, if I may ask? Love Drafts?
No, we did Reading. We did
Oh, you did Reverb.
Reverb. Yeah, great venue.
I can tell you where I was. I was doing a show
Oh, there you go.
with my band. I apologize. I'm sorry I missed your
Okay.
show.
All good. All good. Next time, hit me up, man. That'd be cool.
I'll get you.
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
I'll let you as soon as we're done here, man.
Yeah, awesome. Look, this has been an absolute pleasure. Everybody, don't miss the church, Mark. Thank you so very much, my friend.
All.
Do you have any
Awesome.
last words,
Thank you.
shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
I just say, can't wait to meet everybody, see everybody at the shows. We are absolutely amped. We can't wait, and we're gonna give you some. We're gonna give you some metal. You're gonna be part of the congregation. We are bringing the annihilation.
Ooh, I like that.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.